What's going on, guys? So I know I haven't put up training footage in quite a long time. I mentioned kind of the reason for my lack of YouTube videos in my vlog. If you watch that, I just started my internship with Texas Tech University, so I'm working a lot more, just have less time to do things like record videos and upload videos and things like that, less downtime. So really what I've been doing is still recording my stuff because I use it a lot while I train. Just for like a form check and whatnot, but I was just kind of storing everything up in my computer. That way, if I wanted to show you guys kind of some PRs or something like that, then I could. I kind of came up with the idea to show you guys kind of a whole progression of a cycle with just one lift. So I'm going to try to make a squat video, a bench video, and a deadlift video. It's pretty much taking you the progression through my 8-week training cycle that I'm halfway through right now and that I'll be completing. So essentially, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm doing with the squat right here. Again, I'm not going to lay out the entire cycle for you guys, but it's really simple. The first 4 weeks, I'm back squatting twice a week, and it's just a 5x5. It starts off pretty conservative. So for me, it was a 320 or a 315 for 5x5. I just went ahead and did that beltless, as you just saw, and then I moved into pretty much as a 5 to 10 pound progression each session. And then usually the second session of the week will be the last set will be a plus set. So if you ever see in my training programs or my videos that says LSPS, that stands for last set plus set. That essentially means if you're doing like 5s, it's 5+. If you're doing 3s, it's 3+. So it's pretty much not to failure, but it is till you couldn't get another good rep. So you saw that there. That was my second training day. That was 325 for 8, which wasn't too bad. You've seen a change of scenery here too, which is another reason why I started off this program kind of light, because I knew I'd be getting adjusted to some new equipment and whatnot. So again, this was beltless here. Overall in this cycle, again, I went through eight squat sessions in this 4 weeks. Squats, I honestly have not felt good. If I did an overall assessment of my squats the 4 weeks, probably at least half of them I thought were just not quality sessions. Whether it was the weight was feeling too heavy, I wasn't happy with my form, and recently, especially when you see my last training day, which will be day 8, I'm just having like a bracing issue. It started with, I originally put my belt, I thought my belt was too tight, so I adjusted it. It's a lever belt, so you kind of just adjust it with a screwdriver. So I adjusted it, and then I was like, okay, this isn't tight at all, so I adjusted it back, and I felt like I couldn't breathe in it. So again, it just really messed up with my bracing. I need to stick with one of those adjustments there with a little bit tighter or not tight enough, and just roll with it, because again, it was just messing with me. And this was probably my best overall set of the 4 weeks. This was a plus set, so this was week 2, session 2, my 4th day, I believe, and this was 335 for 8. Many of the problems you see in my squats, especially later on when the weight gets heavier, you're not seeing here. My hips aren't shooting up as quickly. My chest tends to stay pretty high. These look like quality squats here. Again, I hit a set of 8, and this wasn't incredibly difficult. I probably could have hit, 10-ish, even maybe a little bit more. But again, I wasn't really, I'm not really trying to set, huge rep PRs. I'm just kind of use it to build up some volume. And I was fully, I was anticipating hitting 355-ish for a set of 8 at the end of the cycle, even with that 5x5. So again, kind of a different view for you guys here. These felt good. Again, this is kind of a long time ago, but this didn't stick out as anything really bad for me anyways. I felt pretty good here. You'll notice I brought in my stance quite a bit too during these 4 weeks. I actually made that adjustment during week 1 just to kind of save my hips a little bit from just kind of that impingement that I usually have. Definitely have some mobility issues still. I don't think it's ever not going to be an issue for me. And flat out, honestly, I haven't been as consistent as I need to be to kind of be as strong as I need to be, if that makes sense. You need to make time for certain things that you know are going to help you lift. But again, I am disappointedly surprised, if that makes sense, that these weights are feeling so heavy to me in this 4-week cycle. Maybe it's just the volume getting to me. Like the whole point of the first 4 weeks is supposed to. Maybe it's just the volume beating me up a little bit, and once I drop the volume, I'll be fine. Maybe it's a form issue, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's a lot of these things. This was a day I remember watching these videos, and I was really surprised with how hip dominant this looked. I didn't really have any. I mean, there's a little bit of ankle flexion there, but I'm usually having a lot more, and I'm just not liking how horizontal I am in these squats. So again, just some adjustments. I need to be better, but overall, I was pretty dang perfect up until the last training session. Even though it didn't feel amazing, even though I was expecting a little bit more on my plus sets and whatnot. Again, this was a 345 for 6. These don't look good. I feel like I'm chasing the reps. I feel like I'm collapsing. Depth looks, even oddly enough, depth looks kind of high on some of my squats in these last few sessions. So again, my form outside of that 335 for 8 progressively got worse throughout the training cycle. So again, just got to make some adjustments, but it's not the end of the world, and I think that the next 4 weeks will probably be promising. I'm expecting to be promising, whether it's because I just kind of recover from the high volume or make some adjustments to form. So this was I think I just have one set here, 350 for 5. Again, these look high too. These in my next session look a little bit high. And again, like 350 for me should not be moving this slow. Even for a set of 5, even if I'm pretty fatigued, this is not how 350 should look. So another question I'll probably get on this video is the red string that you'll see on these weights probably from now on. That is called a tendo unit. It essentially measures your bar speed and your power output. So it's not a band. It doesn't add any meaningful resistance to the bar by any means. It just measures your rep speed for the most part. So it's a cool little tool that I get to mess with now that I'm at Texas Tech. We have all this awesome stuff here. So this was my last training session. So again, overall, that was high. Overall, you'll see that I started the 4 weeks at 315 for 5 sets of 5, and almost hit my top sets. I guess were 350 for a 4x5, and then the one set I think was like a 340 or 345. So I still made improvements, but again, I set out the program to be conservative at the start. So by no means was that 315 for 5. That 5x5 was like where I was at right there. It was a lot easier than I should have been. I probably didn't even progress, if I'm flat out honest with myself, over these past 4 weeks as far as pure strength, because 350 for a set of 5 wasn't hard for me 4 weeks ago. It was cake. So again, say it 100 times, gonna have to make some adjustments. This was my final set of the cycle, and it didn't end well. As you'll see here on my 4th rep, hips shoot way up. I'm in a horrible position. I had to just call it quits. I wasn't going to grind that one out, and I was just flat out exhausted. So going to make some adjustments. Again, the next 4 weeks will be a little bit different. Essentially, they're going to be all triples now, so my volume is going to decrease quite a bit. And again, the LSPS stands for last set plus set. So this is trying to help you guys kind of realize what a taper is, since I get a lot of questions about how to taper off training programs. So you can look at a taper as your volume per week. So if you look at the first 4 weeks of my training program, I was doing 50 reps for my squats, 2 5x5s. And then in week 5 and 6, you'll see that gets cut down, obviously, with the sets and reps to about 18. Week 7 will be even lower with 12 reps. And then week 8 will be, 6 plus, depending on what that last set is. So really what you're tapering is your overall volume, overall weight moved. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, I will have the bench video and deadlift video hopefully up at the same time. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.